feel like it makes sense to get the vaccine then, because I feel like it was hard for me to be afraid of the vaccine. Granted, even with good reason. I mean, it's new, so it makes sense. And we like, what you shooting us up with? Like, what's in there?
When you got nobody to turn to, just hold on and I'll find you. I'll find you. I'll find you.
Okay, you guys. Hey, Cece here. Welcome back to my channel. This is a really random video, and if y'all see this light stuff, your girl's wearing a lace, okay? I'm still not the best at it, but we did all right. But anyway, first off, why I'm wearing a wig, my locks is still under here, is because, you guys, I was struggling with hair envy, like, for real. And as a hairstylist, it is so easy to do. I've been doing weaves and presses and even natural updos, and I'm just like, come on, like, and I feel like I can't do nothing with my hair. So, and I was contemplating, guys, I'm not gonna even lie, I was contemplating cutting out my locks, literally, or combing them out, one or the other. And I know I'm really bad at making rash decisions, so I told myself, you need to step back. What can you do to satisfy your urge to have a different hairstyle? And when I locked my hair, I literally threw away all of my hair extensions and wigs I had except for this one. So I'm glad I kept it. The Lord knew, God, you knew. So I kept it, and so we've been rocking that. So excuse my little, where it looks a little lighter. It's not glued down or anything. Right here, girl, it look like lace wear, and then it's like right there. But anyway, it's not glued down. I just use the Got to Bleed holding spray to lay it down. And it works wonderful because I didn't want to keep nothing on too permanent. But anyway, that's not what I came on here to chit chat about. Yes, I did it. I am vaccinated. I just got my second one, and that's really why I came on to do this video. Not because I'm here to tell you how to go get vaccinated. I'm here to tell you how to do what make y'all feel comfortable, because I'm just here to share my experience with the vaccination. And I'm taking my seatbelt off because I'm talking to y'all in my car, obviously, but I'm in my driveway, so yeah, whatever. Lighting's good though, okay? Anyways, and I'm about to go in here and make me a toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I really want one. I've been craving it. So anyway, my lips is dry too. I probably should put something on my lips. Where is my lip gloss at? Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to, no, I want to have some little shine. This purse ain't big enough to be hiding stuff. Like, it's little, and I still be losing things. But anyway, I came on to share my experience with it because first off, I don't dig into conspiracies. I'll put a Bible verse across the screen that this is the thing that got me away from conspiracy theories, if y'all want to know. Like, some could be true, I don't know. I don't really dive into it. So I would just say right now, I don't listen to conspiracy theories. They don't have no weight in my life. So anyway, with that being said, when I went and got my first shot, because I took the Pfizer, that's what some people I know did, and you know, people work with doctors said they were taking it, so I just took that one. And anyway, sorry y'all, because you can tell when that gloss get all the way over them lips. It's beautiful. So anyway, but I was talking because, you guys, I was so anxious about the second shot. Now, when I took my first one, it was in the midst of the time that I was transitioning, so I didn't record anything to talk about it. And like I said, it's not here to like encourage people to go get vaccinated. Like I said, do what makes you feel really, really comfortable. And that's going to be for each his own. I don't think there's a right or wrong thing to do. I don't think you're smart or stupid either way. I think it's just what you prefer, what you feel comfortable with, which makes you feel the safest. And I think you should go with that, like I genuinely do. And I think the decision needs to be yours. One of the things for me, what was bugging me about the vaccine is I was scared of it, you guys. I was scared. I'm not going to even lie. Not even conspiracy theory stuff. I was just scared. Like, I mean, it's so new, and you know, is it okay? Has it been around long enough? I was scared. And one thing, I don't know if I share it a lot, but I will tell you guys this testimonial about me is that I hate I hate. I don't say hate a lot about stuff, but I absolutely, and God knows, I hate being afraid. I hate it so much. Fear has ruled my life in such a great capacity for so much of my life that I literally hate it. I hate when I'm afraid. I don't. And from what I have learned spiritually, fear is not a sign from God that you shouldn't or you should do something. If anything, my Bible teaches me that God constantly is telling me and reminding me not to fear, that He is with me. So when I'm in fear, I automatically associate that with a negative experience and being outside of God's will, or not being able to be obedient to God's command or His insistence to do not fear. And it's in the Bible a lot. I think I looked up how many times it's in there. If I get the number and I remember, I'll put that on the screen as well, so you guys know how many times it's mentioned in there where God is telling us, do not fear, do not be afraid. So when I'm, like I said, when I'm afraid, I can't associate that with a thing that I should be following, because fear, like I said, ruled my life for so long, and because of fear, I did and didn't do things for a very, very long time. And I've grown up to understand that you should never do anything out of fear, ever. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. For me, it's like, Sierra, when you're afraid of something, and it's not like, like when I'm afraid of something and I don't have a reason, and like if fear is the only thing that stops me from doing stuff, then I'm learning that you need to do it. Like there is going to be certain times where fear is a helper. So don't get me wrong when I say I just associate it with a negative thing. It's something you have to evaluate. So let me clear that up. Fear can be a helper. It's absolutely something that lets us know you're too close to the edge, that fire is hot, danger is near, things like that. And we're going to have fear in our lives at times. And I've learned it can be a positive and a negative thing. And for me, I understand my fear when it is in a negative place. And that I get that understanding by asking myself a series of questions. Like, why are you afraid? And then I dig into that. Like, well, why are you afraid of that? Well, what do you think is going to happen? Is this something you should be afraid of? Like, I ask myself a series of questions. And when I end up with not having a real legitimate reason for my fear, I am able to evaluate that, okay, this is not a healthy fear, and versus something that is a healthy fear, if you guys can understand that. So anyway, I hate being afraid. I don't like it. It makes me very uncomfortable. I have like a resentment towards fear. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I hate you. Don't come around me. Like, leave me alone. So anyway, I'm really on this journey right now, and I call it, I say it's my YOLO life. And I don't mean it in a way of being reckless and irresponsible and things like that, but little things. Prime example, putting this wig on, right? I wasn't afraid of the wig. What I was afraid of was putting the middle part on it, because I'm not a big fan of middle parts all the time, and then crimping it. And I did this last night, and I was just like, I'm scared. At first I was gonna do it straight. And why was I gonna do it straight? Because if I did a middle part and wore it straight, it was playing it safe. And then I tell myself, Sierra, YOLO, you need to do it. And it's the same thing I've been doing with my clothes, makeup. Like, I'm just wearing whatever I want to wear. I got a hat on. I probably should show y'all my outfit. And with my clothes, I was wanting to do a thing about contentment and all of that, you guys. And I was going to do it in a fashion sense. And I will still do that video, where I'm just really going through my closet, and I'm just basically wearing everything I own, and putting on outfits that I thought about that I wasn't sure about, putting on outfits that I thought about and then I changed my mind about. Like, I told myself, just YOLO. And I said, if you find that you truly hate something, at least you'll know not to wear it again or do it again, but you won't have the question in your mind that says, should I have done that? Shouldn't I? Why didn't I? Basically, we're trying to eliminate regrets. Okay, so anyway, so that's my thing. Is like, I was afraid to do it because I was like, oh my God, if I crimp it and then I don't like it, then I gotta get it back straight, and that's gonna take a long time, so I'm gonna just wear it straight. And I was like, girl, listen, we don't live in that fear. You're gonna crimp this hair and you're gonna slay it. And if you like it or if you don't like it, All right, I'm sorry. My 13-year-old was texting me because I'm sitting in the driveway like, are you outside? And I'm like, yes, I know I look crazy, but let me do this, okay? I knew it was quiet in here. The lighting was good, and I wanted to get this off my chest real quick, okay? So anyway, I tell myself, like, do not be afraid to just try stuff, especially if it's safe. This ain't going trying the middle part with some crimps is not putting myself at risk, at danger, whatever. Girl, we ashy. Get some of this lotion on or anything like that. But anyway, so like I was saying, I hate being afraid. So when it came to the vaccine, which I was afraid of, I did not do it out of like, well, since I'm afraid of it, I'm going to go do it. The other thing that I'm also afraid of is COVID. So now we are in this place where it's like, I'm scared of COVID. I'm scared of a vaccine. And so I'm in a place where either way is just not, well, let me take that back. I ain't gonna say I'm scared of COVID. I'm scared of the world not getting better, I guess is what I should say. I do not like the idea that we can never come out of this, that we can't overcome this, that COVID is going to be something we have to deal with forever. Even if that is the reality, I'm not comfortable with it. And so I got to this place where I can't control COVID. I don't know if it's going to be around for the rest of our lives or if it's going to go away at some point and we don't hear about it anymore, like other diseases that have plagued the world at different times of life. But I did decide, and I am in a place where I was like, but God, I want to be a part of the solution. And so when I get into a place where I'm dealing with fear and I've asked questions and I understand my fear, whether it's a good fear or a negative fear. Now, one, I'm trying to move past that fear, because even when you evaluate your fear, it doesn't make it immediately go away. Like, just because I was afraid of the vaccine, even if I evaluate that there's really not a good reason to be afraid of it, it doesn't mean I'm still not afraid of it. Now I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, God, I need you to step into my life, into this situation, and help me move forward and make the best decision for my circumstance. And that's all I can live in, right? So, we've broken it down in several ways. But long story short, I ended up thinking and agreeing and having peace. It's my key. Peace is my key to when I know I'm okay. And I got to a place of peace where I said, I'm going to get these vaccines because I want to be a part of the solution. I don't know why COVID is here. I don't fully believe it's because someone let it out of a lab. I don't believe it's because God is angry. I don't believe it's another form of plague. I don't know what it is though. And that means that it could be all of those things, or it could be nothing, or it could be as simple as something that was just going to happen as like any other disease that appeared for the first time in our human lives. Like, this isn't the first time something deadly has popped up in our time of living, and then in the time of the world too. So I have to look at everything in that kind of capacity, not just in this moment as if this is the only time a new virus has ever appeared, because that's not true. So when God, for me, I feel like when you talk to God, he's able to elevate you into a place where you can see a broader perspective of any situation, and it blows up your view versus the small world that we all individually live and mingle in, because the world is so vast that it's impossible for me to see the world from your perspective or anybody else's. I can only live in mine. So when he kind of gave me a bigger perspective of looking at not just the virus of now, but the viruses of times before, I have to be led to believe that there's going to be viruses that come in the future too. It's just what happens. But when I look through life, I realize viruses have come, diseases have come, vaccines have come, diseases have left, viruses have left. So honestly, I look at it like we're following into a cycle of what the world has done in the past. So they always say, I always hear, if you want to predict the future, look to the past. So if I look to the past, I have to say, okay, this may be a new thing. We have new vaccines, that eventually this will be something that we won't have to deal with. That's just where I am logically. Spiritually, God could be doing, it could be something totally different going on. But like I said, I only can stay where I am, or I can wear myself to death, and I refuse to do that. So I'm just gonna have to go with that, and I'm gonna have to trust God. So anyway, I was like, okay, God, I feel like it makes sense to get the vaccine then, because I feel like it was hard for me to be afraid of the vaccine. Granted, even with good reason. I mean, it's new, so it makes sense. And we're like, what you shooting us up with? Like, what's in there? But I also was like, I do trust in medicine. I have had to deal closely, all of us have probably in some capacity of our life, closely with doctors, nurses, and therefore some of us are doctors, some of us are nurses, some of us know nurses, and whatever. Whether you have health situations, your family, we all rely on medication, medicine, doctors, and all of that to make us better, because it has done a really great job at extending lives and things of that nature. So now I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, God, I see that too. That makes sense. I always believe that doctors are a grace from God. I pray over them before they treat me, my kids, my husband, but I do believe that doctors and medicine is a grace from God to help us deal with things that we would probably would have died from, or shortened our lives because of, or gotten really sick, whatever. So anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the shot. But y'all, your girl, I've shared that I struggle with anxiety and I've struggled with depression. And when I say y'all, I had a full-fledged panic attack after I got that first vaccine. Like, y'all, I was in there like, Sierra, breathe. Like, in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I done shot this thing up in my body and now I'm about to faint. Oh my God, what am I doing? I'm getting hot, I can't breathe. Like, straight up panic attack. Anybody who's experienced a panic attack, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sitting there in the middle of this pharmacy and I'm trying to keep my stuff together because it's people moving around me. I'm in the designated waiting area after you get your vaccine. They want you to sit there for 15 minutes. And my neighbor who lives a few doors down, she told me she was crying. She said, I cried after my first one. She was like, I was breastfeeding. I was like, what have I done? So it, like when I dealt with that, it's frustrating because panic attacks suck. But when I came out of it, because they feel like they last forever, but they really are like a moment. If you've ever experienced one, I don't wish it on nobody, but just believe me, if you haven't, it's not fun. And if you have, y'all got to comment down below because y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, full-fledged panic attack, right? And I was just like, okay, I got over that. And then I knew I had to come back in a few weeks to get my second one. I had already scheduled it. And you guys know the biggest thing that I was concerned about was not getting the shot itself. And if you guessed it, you could write it right now, and I'll wait for you to type it in. And if you're right, I'm gonna tell you, you was right if you said having another panic attack. Okay, I was like, God, I do not want to have another panic attack with this vaccine. Like, just let me go in there and just chill. And one of the things that I have found power in, not just our prayer, you guys, not just in the way we think, but how we speak. And so for me, what happened was I was like, Sierra, even on the way there, because my thing was like, what if I have another panic attack? I don't want to have another panic attack. It's horrible. What if it's worse than the first one? What if I get really, really sick? What if I get really, really tired? Like, the bunch of what ifs. And if anybody struggled with anxiety, you would understand this cycle of thinking and how it is a spiral into a panic attack. Like, you will be spiraling. And I was about to go down the rabbit hole. And then I've learned through my anxiety to speak positive. So then, in a sense, I had to say, well, what if you don't have a panic attack? What if you're perfectly fine? What if you don't have any side effects? If you do very minimal, what if it goes through and you almost forget that you even got it and you're just fine? And believe me, guys, before this, I prayed to God. I said, God, if this is something that is going to be harmful to me, make me sick, do something, anything negative, I said, I don't want to get it. I don't care how you stop it. I don't want to get these vaccines. I told him that and I meant it. And so for everything to go smoothly, I was like, okay. And I trust peace. I trust peace over everything. I don't trust my heart over peace. Nothing. I don't trust my mind over peace. Peace is my safe place. So when I have peace, that's the only time I know I'm right where I need to be. I know when God is speaking to me. So it just calmed down. And I sat there before he came out to give me my shot. I'm sitting there waiting, and I was like, and I was anxious. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And then I had to evaluate all of my feelings that were the similar feelings of when I have a panic attack. And I was like, Sierra, remember that you was having all these feelings before. Because if you feel them once you get this shot, you're not going to go into no panic attack saying something happening to you right now, but you already in anxiety. I said, I ain't even got the shot yet, and I ain't even scared to get shots. I wasn't scared to get shots as kids. So I'm like, why are you sitting here as a 34-year-old woman anxious about a pinch? So I was like, calm down, calm down. So I calmed down. And the one thing I knew, like, after I got it and I calmed myself down, like, girl, you already tripping. And he ain't even came out yet. Like, I'm waiting. He ain't even out yet. And so then I was sitting there, and I got the shot. He's like, yeah, I'm done. And then I go over there and I sit in the area, and I knew y'all instantly. I was like, we ain't having no panic attack today. Won't he do it? I was like, thank you, God. And I'm telling you guys, I love God so much because the simple things, I'm telling you, big things, we know it's him. The simple things sometimes we overlook, I think, at least in my life. When big miraculous things happen, I know ain't nobody but God did it, because stuff that go against science, go against stereotypes, go against what the doctors see, I'm like, God, I don't know what you did, but you made it happen. But today, y'all, I'm not going to try to get emotional. I already did. Because the thing is, I know how good my God is, and I know how much he loves me. Oh, I'm getting emotional. I don't care, because I did not want to have a panic attack again. It was horrible the first time. I can laugh about it, but it was horrible. And he showed up today, and he told me, you're gonna be all right. And he told me this before, but you know, the thing about God is he don't mind reaffirming what he said. He don't mind telling you again if you need it, because he knows you so well. And the only way my emotional reaction makes sense is if you know me as well as he does. And when you have a close, intimate relationship with God, you understand how much he knows you by all the little things he does around you just for you. You know, everybody don't need what I need, but he did it for me. He gave me my peace today, and he covered me, and it was calm, and I feel like my time flew by, and I just thank him. And so I had to share my story time, because I know it's a lot going on about the vaccines, and I'm not, like I said, I ain't here to debunk nothing. I'm just saying that, you know, trust what is best for you. Do it. You're not wrong if you want to get it. You're not wrong if you don't. Like, don't let nobody tell you what you should be doing. And I say these things I've learned. I don't do things out of fear. So I don't want to get a vaccine because I'm terrified so much of COVID. I don't also want to not get a vaccine because I'm so terrified of the vaccine. Like, I don't like that. Don't do things out of fear, you guys, and don't do things because people tell you to. Don't do things out of pressure. Do what makes you happy. Talk to your God when you are in a weird place like me and you're kind of confused in this time that is really unknown, you guys. We're living through a really historic time right now, and it's I believe it's normal to be uncomfortable, to be uncertain, to be unsure, to be afraid, to be, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Ooh, help me, Holy Spirit. To be a little apprehensive. That's the word. It's okay to feel what you feel. I have another YouTuber I follow, and she's super big on YouTube. She does makeup. Her name is Mikey. And I follow her on Instagram. And what she had shared the first day I got my vaccine. I don't even get on my Instagram much, y'all. I'm trying to get better. I need to post a picture because hey girl, hey, we got cute or whatever. Okay, we got the eyebrows waxed. I gotta tell y'all this new I'm gonna have to do a new get ready with me, because I'm like, y'all, when I say I ain't got no powder on my face, I'm gonna share with y'all anyway. But she was sharing on her stories, and I don't look at people's stories often, but I did that day, and that's why I be knowing God he be right. He be knowing what you need. And she was talking about her anxiety and her fear of not being able to get a vaccine. She lives in California. She has, I think, some underlying health issues. If I remember correctly, she said something about her heart. So, you know, for her, you know, the way they describe it, like COVID's more of a threat to people with underlying issues. You know, we all heard it. Although it's been people that just been fine, asymptomatic with underlying issues, but you know, like that's where they was kind of led, because like I said, we're still living a very new historic time, and it's a lot of unknowns out there, you know. And if anything, you know, I have any concern, one thing that I will say before I finish sharing what Mikey was experiencing is that don't sit in fear and confusion and uncertainty alone. The one thing I started doing when the vaccine became a thing and people could start getting them, and I was scared because I was like, it's too new. Like, what if it makes people sick? That was my thing. I had to say, like, I had to deal with that fear, what it was, and I had to start, you know, like God, you know, like questioning what my thoughts are, why I'm thinking that, and then what can I do to solve it. And the thing that God gave me was, then you should be praying for it. So I literally, even in the times that I was afraid to get the shot, and even though I got, like, this was comfortable, the first one I was still scared, I ain't gonna even lie, I was just in there like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I was scared. But I started praying for it. You guys, we as believers, if you are a believer, use your power, use your privilege as a child of God to talk to God about the things that are going on in our world. You know, it is our duty. It is our job. I believe it's what Jesus meant when he said that we would do greater things in him. We are more than one Jesus. We are millions. We are hundreds of thousands of us. And we can all be praying and pushing into that, you know, like into that, I don't even know what I'm thinking of, that, you know, that pushing past that threshold to get to our God so that he can hear us, you know, and cry out. You know, it's another Bible verse, and I'll put that on the screen too, that he talks about if we are to humble ourselves and pray, you know. So what I did, and when I was afraid of it for people that were getting it, I was like, I think it's too soon. And I was literally afraid for other people when it don't affect me at all. I started praying for it, and I started praying that God, it does what it needs to do, what the doctors and scientists wanted to do to beat this virus. We, you know, it's not everything makes sense when we think about it. You know, like if you throw in conspiracy theories, I do believe it gets you kind of clouded. And I'm not here to discuss that, because at the end of the day, I believe if God is for me, who can be against me? I don't care about people who plotting and planning against me. Like, God told me no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So I have to live as a believer. I have to stay in that place, because I understand that my God is aware of my dangers before I am, and that he already covers me. He talks about it. He's going to be rear guard. He's going to go before me, and he's behind me. So it's like, we don't have to get caught up in what someone may be intentionally trying to do to harm you, when your God already says, I'm for you and I got you. So we got to remember that as believers, he got us. So regardless of what man may plot, remember the Bible says the fear of man is to set a trap for yourself. So I'm always like, I don't want to do the things, you know, I can't live in a world where my faith is in God and I believe in God, but I operate like the world does. So I have to check myself on that, on what I believe. And I'm telling you, it's not even a bad thing. It's just, it's a comfort in God's word. That's all I'm trying to say. But anyway, pray for the things that bother you. Pray for the over the conspiracy theories. If you believe people out here trying to mess people up with these shots, pray over it. Like, don't be just a voice of rejection. Be a voice. Like I always say, I can't go stop people from doing stuff, but I can pray to a God who can do everything. Okay? Remember that. So what Mikey was saying with her anxiety about not getting a shot, God put me in a place to understand that, baby, there are two extremes to this situation. It's some people that are terrified to not get this shot. They are scared. And then there's people like you that are terrified to get it. And you guys are scared. And he was showing me, like, no one's right or wrong. He says all of y'all fear is very relevant, and that he understands it well. But it helped me to get away from my extreme thought of the fear of it. And I stepped into Mikey's shoes for a moment to understand the fear of not having it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but thank you, God. Anyway, but that is what he was sharing with me, and I wanted to come on here and share it with you guys. It's a long story time, but I wanted to share it. I don't know why it was on my mind. And I was looking cute, so I was like, girl, we can go on and film it because our crimps is falling out. But you know, it's kind of like effortless. In my hat. Girl, Shein. If y'all didn't check out that Shein try on haul, that's where it came from. Earrings is from the beauty supply store. And so, yeah. Anyways, but guys, I love y'all, and I just had to share that with y'all, that your girl had a panic attack, but you know what, God came through. This second time was such a breeze. And I guess I want to be a testimony to tell y'all that, guys, when y'all do pray, how you are, however you are, God shows up for you. Even if you're on the stream like, I ain't getting no shot, he is gonna be there for you too. And if you a person like, I can't wait to get my shot, I already got it, he gonna be with you too. Like, nobody's wrong. That's all I'm saying. Like, God got us anyway, and he gonna help us move through this time. And he's the only thing I believe that was keeping us, and I thank him for it. So guys, as always, I can get out of here because I've been talking for like 30 minutes. I didn't even expect that, but I love y'all. And if y'all made it this far, you're the real MVPs. Thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't, because why not? I mean, I ain't gonna even say nothing corny. I was about to go and say it's lit, but that ain't even me. I ain't gonna even lie. But you know, like, y'all come over here and rock with me. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We on our way to 800, okay? We trying to hit 1,000. Hey, we trying to hit 1,000. Hey. And it's been a great journey. And I'm telling you, so many of y'all have made it so much fun for me to do this. And I will say, starting my YouTube channel is one of those fears I had to overcome. And I'm so glad I did it. And people always say, I hear a lot of people say, I wish I did it sooner. I used to say that too, but I said, no, I did it at the right time when I was supposed to. And I'm happy that I'm doing it now. And thank you guys so much. So share with your friends. Comment down below if you understand what I'm saying. If you had a panic attack when you got your vaccine, or if you have a panic attack because you did get a vaccine. And if you believe in conspiracy theories, I mean, I guess you can share them, but I don't care. But anywho, stay blessed, you guys. Stay motivated. Remember that God doesn't want to trick you. He doesn't want to hurt you. He loves you and he cares for you. And I will talk to y'all in my next one.